Welcome to the Mindful Monthly Astrology Podcast for June 2026. If you are new here, I'm so glad you found your way. And if you're a regular, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you along for the ride. Let's begin, as we always do, by taking a moment to arrive. Wherever you are right now, whether you're driving, walking, doing the dishes, or perhaps sitting quietly with a cup of tea, just take one slow breath in and let it out. Come back to yourself. Come back to now. June is a month of contrasts, of water and air, fire and earth, of feeling and thinking, of stillness and sudden movement. The astrology this month invites us to hold both, to feel deeply and yet to stay grounded, to dream boldly and yet remain present. It's a rich, layered month, and I feel we need some tools to help us to navigate it with mindfulness and grace. Let's take it step by step. June 1st to 2nd, the period after the full moon, unwinding. The month opens on a Monday and we are off a full moon weekend, so there may be a residual intensity in the air as June begins. If you're feeling a little wrung out or simply relieved that the emotional weather has passed, that's entirely appropriate. Give yourself permission to ease in gently. These first couple of days are well suited to routine tasks, the kind of steady, satisfying work that doesn't require too much of you emotionally. Think organizing, clearing, ticking things off lists. There's something else important happening on the 1st. Communication planet Mercury moves from airy Gemini into the much more sensitive sign of Cancer. This is significant. Where Mercury in Gemini is quick, witty, and a little detached, Mercury in Cancer feels everything. Words land differently. Tone matters more than usual. Someone might say something perfectly ordinary, and you or they may take it to heart in a way that catches you off guard. So be a little extra gentle in how you receive another person's words this week, and be equally gentle in how you deliver your own. This transit opens up a beautiful door for conversations about home, family, and future security with the people you love. If there's something you've been meaning to say to someone close to you, this is a supportive time for that. June 3rd to 9th, Neptune's dreamy influence and a Venus-Jupiter kiss. We now move into one of the more magical stretches of the month. This is a week to go with the flow. Literally. If you're a planner by nature, try loosening the grip a little. Heavy scheduling or pushing through endurance projects is likely to feel frustrating rather than productive. Neptune, our planet of dreams, inspiration, and sensitivity, is very active on the 3rd and 4th. Dancing with Mercury. This is wonderful for creative work, writing, painting, music, journaling, envisioning. If an idea has been hovering at the edges of your awareness, these days could bring it into focus. Then on the 9th of June, Neptune moves cheek to cheek with the moon. So this could be another deeply intuitive or creative day, or both. one where you feel things more than you think them. And speaking of the 9th, we have something rather beautiful happening. Venus, our planet of love and abundance, Jupiter, our planet of expansion, good fortune, are coming into a feel-good alignment. These two together are what astrologers sometimes call lucky in love and money. So it's a warm, generous, and uplifting energy for everyone. If you were born between July 15th and the 18th, or if you have a Cancerian ascendant between 24 and 26 degrees, for those of you who know your charts, this alignment lands particularly close to home for you. It could bring something genuinely fortuitous your way. But all of us can consciously tune into this frequency. On the 9th, consider what abundance and even fertility means to you, not just materially, but in terms of love, creativity, connection, having enough, and open yourself to receiving it. June 12th to 13th, a day of completion, and then the dark moon. The 12th of June is a day for completing things. I'd encourage you to approach it deliberately. Look at what's unfinished, whether that's a project, a conversation, a lingering piece of admin, and do what you can to bring it to a close. The astrology of the time supports this. Venus is at the very last degree of Cancer, and there's a Moon-Mars conjunction in grounded Taurus, giving the day a purposeful, even driven quality. Use that energy wisely. The following day, the 13th, is dark moon. This is the quietest, most inward phase of the lunar cycle. It's a day for reflection and processing, for tying up loose ends and resting before the new lunar cycle begins. You don't need to be productive on the 13th. In fact, the gentler you are with yourself, the better. There's a delightful contrast on this same day. Venus makes her entrance into heart-centered Leo, which has a very different quality. Venus in Leo is warm, expressive, and even radiant. So while the moon invites you inward, Venus is quietly putting on her best outfit. There's something rather wonderful about this tension. It's as if we are quietly preparing to step out. June 14 to 16, new moon in Gemini, heart-to-heart season. On the 14th, we have our new moon at 24 degrees of Gemini, arriving at 10:53 p.m. Eastern Time, New York. New moons are always an invitation to begin something, to plant a seed, to set an intention, to open a door that you've been standing in front of. What makes this particular new moon interesting is the combination of energies present. There's both a passionate quality and a cooler, more analytical one, which actually creates conditions for a genuine, heartfelt conversation. You can speak honestly and be heard clearly. If there's something you've been wanting to say, or a vision that you would like to share with a partner, a friend, a family member, This new moon window and the days immediately following are beautifully supportive of that. By the 16th, the emotional tone deepens. The moon, Mercury, and Jupiter are all gathered together in Cancer, the sign of feelings, nurturing, and belonging. In astrology, water signs reflect our emotional world, and right now there's a lot of water in the sky. You may find yourself more sensitive than usual, or more aware of what and who truly nourishes you. Your personal security may also feature strongly now. The invitation here is not to get swept away, but to stay anchored in your truth. Venus in Leo, looking across at Uranus, the Awakener, offers us a way through. Express your individuality, not the version of yourself that's on autopilot, not the version that you put on for others, your real essence self. Stand in your power. Speak from your truth. This is a great time to break a pattern that no longer serves you. June 21st to the 23rd, the solstice, a threshold moment. We arrive at one of the great turning points of the year, the summer solstice. On June 21st at 4:24 a.m. Eastern Time, New York, the sun moves into 0 degrees of tropical Cancer, and we mark the longest day, the peak of the light. I always encourage people to greet the solstice with some kind of ritual, however simple. Might be lighting a candle, spending time outdoors at sunrise or sunset, writing in your journal, or simply pausing to acknowledge the season. There is real power in marking these thresholds consciously. About 12 hours later, 6 p.m. Eastern, the first quarter moon arrives at 0 degrees of Libra, completing a powerful picture in the sky. There is an energetic sense of something significant occurring in the solar-earth relationship. As above, so below. What are you bringing forward into your life at this solstice point? What vision are you standing in? Your reality has a way of assembling itself around the vibration that you hold. At this sacred time, your vibration can radiate outward and become more visible than usual, more felt. So be intentional. The moon's Libra energy after the solstice also reminds us to strive for balance and harmony, not perfection, balance. There's a difference. June 27th to the 30th, Mars moves on and a potent full moon to close the month. As we enter the final stretch of June, there's a notable shift in energy. Mars, our action planet, the one that governs how we move and assert ourselves, has been traveling steadily through Taurus for some weeks. On the 28th, Mars moves into Gemini and the pace quickens noticeably. I'd suggest treating the 27th and the 28th of June as transition days. days of adjustment rather than full speed ahead action. Allow yourself to recalibrate. This pause will serve you well because between June 28th and July 4th, something rather electric is building. Mars is meeting up with Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs. This can bring remarkable possibilities for both physical and psychological shifts, the kind of changes that come quickly and feel genuinely liberating. As always with Uranian energy, I'd encourage you not to rush or force anything. Don't dash about at this time, and let the breakthroughs come to you. They will come. And then on June 29th at 7:58 Eastern Time, the month ends with a beautiful and potent full moon at 8 degrees of Capricorn. Full moons are times of culmination, of things coming to fruition. Capricorn is the sign of achievement, integrity, and the long game. This full moon invites you to acknowledge what you have built, even the quiet, unglamorous work that no one else sees, especially that. And to all of you who are graduating this season, congratulations. This full moon is particularly celebratory for you. And I'd like to give a heartfelt, special thank you to all the teachers out there. You work so hard and you do such good work. Finally, with Jupiter still moving through comfort-loving Cancer, this is also a lovely period to turn some warm attention toward your home. If your living space has been neglected, perhaps because work has demanded so much of you, this is a gentle nudge to restore a little beauty and ease into your environment. Light a candle, clear a corner, put flowers on the table. Home is where we restore ourselves, and right now it deserves a little love. You are now ready for the major shift of Jupiter into radiant, big-hearted Leo, which takes place on the last day of June. Prepare for some truly inspirational times ahead, as Jupiter will be in Leo for a year, more or less. Closing. So, this is June 2026. A month of sensitive conversations and creative flow, of important thresholds and surprising breakthroughs, and a full moon at the close that asks us to celebrate how far we've come. I'd like to leave you with a poem by Kabir, the same beloved 15th century poet I shared with you last month. This one feels perfectly suited to June, with all its water signs and waves of feeling. It is from Ecstatic Poems, translated by Robert Bly. I have been thinking of the difference between water and the waves on it. Rising, water is still water. Falling back, it is water. Will you give me a hint how to tell them apart? Because someone has made up the word wave, do I have to distinguish it from water? There is a secret one inside us. The planets in all the galaxies pass through his hands like beads. That is a string of beads one should look at with luminous eyes. May you move through June with your eyes alight and an open, grateful heart. Until next time.